We are back. That's right. We are back to the Race and Ethnic Relations on Campus podcast show. I am Dr. B. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a little while. It's been going through the holidays, but yes, we are back. I am back. And this is, let me just get straight to it. This is show number 45. That's right. Show number 45, and it's entitled, What Will Happen to Race and Ethnic Relations in 2021? That's right. What will happen to race and ethnic relations in 2021? We are rapidly approaching the end of the year 2020. I'm recording this on December 29th, 2020. And I know, and I'm actually preparing for my my race and ethnic relations class in 2021, my undergraduate class. And I just want to kind of like lay the landscape with this particular show and it give me some ideas of perhaps some topics to bring up with my college students coming up in this semester, this spring. And I'm sure we're going to have some great discussions, debates in my class, because I just can't wait. I can't wait to feel the new energy from my college students, because guess what? Every year at the beginning of the academic year, particularly after the holidays and starting off a new year, there is a fresh new energy. You can always feel it in your classes. So that's the setup. Let me take care of some sponsors. I want to thank our sponsors, of course. I want to thank Podbean for showcasing us, our podcast on their podcast platform for over a year or so. So thank you, Podbean. I want to thank Google Play, iTunes. I want to thank iHeartRadio. I want to thank Listen FM, of course, and I want to thank Amazon Prime. Amazon. Thank you, Amazon Prime for showcasing us on their podcast platform. So for those who, I'm doing a major plug for Amazon and Prime and music, and please sign up, because again, that's where we really want to expand our audiences, and appreciate the feedback. And by the way, if you have any comments on this podcast show, please do not hesitate to email me at ejb678@gmail.com. That's ejb678@gmail.com. And of course, I want to thank my publisher of my 2018 book, Race and Ethnic Relations on Campus. It is still selling well, and of course, it lays the foundation for constructive, and I do mean constructive conversation, not divisive. Let me just start this new year off right, talking about 2020. With all these issues that I bring up throughout these podcast shows are constructive, not deconstructive, not divisive. That's the message that I truly want to drive home in all my podcast shows. Constructive, not deconstructive, not divisive. That's different from a lot of other shows out there. So again, that's the way I approach it. That's the way I approach my college classes, particularly sensitive topics like race and ethnic relations with my college students. And I always get another, and that is a better approach to keep everyone together. Cause it's so easy to make everyone divisive against each other. That's the easy way. But as a lecturer, as a professor for over 30-some years, it's more challenging and yet much more enriching when you present issues in a constructive way, in a positive way, and get individuals who would never talk to each other, who would never think they'd have anything in common, come together in talking about race and ethnic relations and coming up with solutions. So there you go. So with that said, I am 5 minutes in, and like I said, title of the show, what will happen to race and ethnic relations in 2021? Ooh, on a national basis, ooh, on a local basis, ooh. So here we go. And this is just my projection. Again, if you disagree, if you agree, please email me. Please respond. But here's my projection for 2021 as we begin this new year and getting through still confronting COVID-19 and the quarantine and all the safety measures that we have to do, the social distancing and the testing. Now we have, of course, vaccines. The new roll of vaccines are being distributed right now throughout our country in a massive way. And I just saw this morning, our new Vice President-elect, Kamala Harris, get her vaccination from the medical experts. She just got her vaccination. President-elect Joe Biden already received his, but just this morning they broadcast Kamala Harris. I'm still trying to get used to her name, but I'm sorry, I apologize. But she just received her, as well as her husband. So the reason why I bring that up is that we're into a new presidential environment, feeling, diversity, inclusion, all issues where makes our country, I'm just going to say in general, our country feel good, feel warm and fuzzy. And I said warm and fuzzy. But guess what? This is my projection, just my opinion. And this is what happened before. But here's my projection for 2021. We will still, unfortunately, have in our society, beginning January 1st, 2021, throughout the year, unfortunately, conflicts between racial and ethnic groups, race confrontations, injustice, incidents, unfortunately, will continue in 2021. From one state to another across our beautiful 50 states of the United States, there will be local issues, confrontations between one group versus another, from one group opposed to or confronting the establishment on one issue versus another. We will have incidents, unfortunately and tragically, that persons will be unjustly, wrongly tragically hurt, killed, shot. We will have protest. We will have response from the communities. Rightly so. And why am I saying this for 2021? What will happen? Because these issues, unfortunately, have happened in the past. Decades. They continue. Our tolerance, unfortunately, in our society has gotten used to these issues in a lot of different ways, particularly in certain cities, continuously, certain areas of cities, certain areas of the community, certain areas of the rural community, certain counties, certain parts of the country have gotten used to these issues. And we've had protests. We've had said enough is enough. We've seen it the past couple of years, particularly this past year, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016. And yet we're going to continue, unfortunately, in some respect, have these issues occur. What do you think will be the response? Now, I'm really thinking about these issues. And I want everyone to think about these issues, to slow down and prepare yourself. Okay? Yes, prepare yourself for when these issues do, unfortunately happen. We can prepare ourselves now, mentally. Just mentally. Take 5 minutes out of your day. Mentally. Think about it. What should we do when these incidents happen in 2021? Do we continue the same pattern as before? Protest, confront, demand justice, get justice in some form or fashion on the surface by the institutions, where institutions say this is wrong, racism is wrong. They make their statements. One institution after another makes their statement. They have conferences. They have online virtual sessions and say this is wrong. And it continues. So are we going to continue the same pattern? Or are other issues going to come up? Again, are we going to continue the same pattern? Are these issues, will these race and ethnic confrontations, injustice issues be at the forefront of our media information, our social media information, our online media, our regular media outlets? Will they be at the forefront? Will they be the number one issue on all our news channels? Racial conflict, will they be the number one issue that will galvanize, that makes the country stop in their tracks, where everyone has an opinion, everyone gets really riled up? Or will we get kind of even more used to these issues, and we recognize it happens in this state, in that state, in this country, in this county, in this area, and it doesn't become the number one news item anymore? It gets ticked down a notch or two or three or four or five, and there's other issues that precedes it. Other issues that precedes it. When we have direct racial conflict between one group versus another, or one group versus, for instance, the police force, judicial system. Will there be other issues? Now, here's my take. Here's my projection. I say, like I said, I think we'll continue to have these types of actions, discussions, responses from mainstream, but also from various racial and ethnic communities. Yet, there may be other issues that may take the lead. That is, they'll get their attention somewhat, but then again, my projection, here we go. I'm 14 minutes in. My projection for 2021 is that a lot of the issues will be less about race and ethnic relations and more about other hot button topic issues. That's right, I said it. I said in 2021, we will have the issues of race and ethnic relations, injustice, human rights, injustice. However, because of our new administration, am I going there? Am I going there? Yes, I'm going there. Because of our new administration, presidential and senatorial elections that will change the landscape, very racially, ethnically diverse leaders in our states and in our Washington D.C. or in the White House. We will actually have topics, discussions, initially about race, but again, it will not be as a high priority. And there will be other issues. I don't know what the issues are, but there will be other issues that will be of injustice, that will be of more importance, at least from mainstream, not from the community. I'm not saying from the community. It's all from the community, all different communities of color. It will be number one priority. But from mainstream, I need to clarify that. From mainstream perspective, yes, I'm clarifying. From mainstream perspective, race will not be as important issue. From the community, yes, number one or number two. All the communities across the United States, number one or two. But from mainstream perspective, they're going to tag on other issues that causes divisiveness in our country, that galvanize groups against each other. These other issues. Again, I don't know what the other issues will be, but there's always other issues. In essence, and the reason why I say this, yes, it ties in. Most when you work with mainstream, walking a fine line now. I'm walking a fine line. Walk with mainstream. Again, mainstream is doing their best to be ahead of the issues, but usually mainstream is always behind. But in this case, it's a message, and it leads into our new political landscape, because we have a new political landscape, culturally, racially, ethnically diverse. Mainstream will feel like, and I say they because I'm not a part. I'm part of it, but not really a part of mainstream. Mainstream, if you get my drift. I love being part of mainstream institution, federal government. I'm walking a fine line right here, but mainstream wants to feel like they've conquered certain things. Race and ethnicity will be one thing that mainstream feels like they conquered it because of the new president and the president-elect, or vice president-elect. You feel like they solved it? Very similarly to when we had, when we had President Barack Obama in the office. Because when President Obama was in the office, mainstream felt like, we've finally solved race relations. Now the world can hug each other and we don't have any more racial problems for 8 years. That's the way mainstream felt. We've solved the racism issue in America. That's how mainstream feels when you get a new presidential politics comes in the forefront. We've solved these issues, so other issues become more important. That's what happened for 8 years. Okay, and now we're going to go back to that. And it will be interesting how mainstream handles race and ethnic relations when these confrontations, these injustices will happen. Unfortunately, how will mainstream handle race and ethnic relations in our country, in communities, in states, in counties, on college campuses? Yes, on college, even though we're still social distancing, some colleges, some students will return. There'll still be not as many, but still return. And I'm concerned about how my college students will interact with one another, ask and debate certain sensitive issues, or will they, be kind of quiet, not address race and ethnic relations issues anymore, address other issues? Felt like they've solved it, we solved it, and we're still dealing with, of course, COVID and all of that. So now it's going to be a challenge for us to still keep race and ethnic relations issues at the top level priority. But I feel that it's going to get ticked down a little bit because of the changing landscape. In some respects, let me just say, in some respects, I do agree with it. Hello. In some respects, I do agree with it. Why? Because race is not an issue on every single thing in our life. Did I make that clear? Race is not an issue on everything in our life. It's 2020, 2021. And we can look at issues, and I bring this up to my college students, quite frankly, and they just surprised because they debate these issues. And I say, and we actually go through some very serious incidents that happen in our city, on our campus, and even my students in the debate with one another agree that this incident that was perceived as racial conflict was really not. So again, on one incident element, I agree that everything, all these various issues that will come up, it more than likely there's a percentage that it does not involve race and ethnic conflict or misunderstanding. It's other issues of everyday life. Other issues of everyday life. Hello. And I think that is where mainstream will highlight in the upcoming 2021 and the next 4 years. Next 4, maybe 8 years. It's going to be interesting how our country shifts in its orientation. And will we actually shift in our orientation when human rights issues get challenged? Will we be able to look at what really happened and go beyond the issue of race? Will we be still tied and kind of like cocooned in our race orientation or our base of those who designate themselves one group as opposed to another? Or will we look at these issues as a human rights issue? Strictly a human rights issue that needs to be corrected. Okay, so there you go. I'm doing like a fine line here, but we get to the issue, and I'm going to follow this up again and again as it plays itself out in 2021. And I want you, the listening audience, to please provide me feedback saying that, what is your opinion? Will race and ethnic relations, confrontations, injustice still be a high priority in 2021? If you feel so, send me an email. If you don't feel like it, send me an email. You got my opinion thus far. And I want to do a deeper dive of this issue because this helps me provide even more backdrop to my college class, which I thoroughly enjoy. And I just can't wait for this new energy from my college students. Where are they going to take these issues? Because guess what? It's going to hit them. And this is a kind of sad point, because many times college students get blindsided by these issues. They come back with all this great energy, positive energy, and then they get blindsided, and reality hits them on the side. They're like, I thought we conquered this. Well, no, we haven't. I'm thinking, no, we haven't. This has been continuing again and again and again. And I really feel for my college students, and they just have to experience it themselves. There's no, you try to prep them for this, prep them for these issues that that's coming, but many times they still get blindsided. And I just want to really prepare them for when they leave this comfortable world of the college world, until they step into the real world and they have to make it day in, day out by themselves. Day in, day out by themselves. They don't have the college comfortable world to protect them anymore, or to say the right things to them. But before they get out there, I want them to get prepared and really dialogue amongst their peers, so they can get a better understanding of some of these other issues, but also recognize that, again, my opinion, race and ethnic relations will be with us for quite some time. For quite some time, regardless of of the changing landscape, where we feel kind of warm and fuzzy right now, which we should. It's the end of the new year, kicking off. We should feel warm and fuzzy. And some of my colleagues said, ooh, warm and fuzzy. But guess what? Warm and fuzzy only lasts a certain period. Like I said, reality. I'm going to say reality sucks sometimes, okay? But you got to prepare yourself. Just prepare yourself. And probably my big word has been in my book, Race and Ethnic Relations, Understanding. And here's my big word, buzzword for, and I said it back in 2018, and it's got probably be even more so in 2021. Empowerment. Empower yourself. Okay, prepare yourself. So there you go. Show number 4. I went 28 minutes. I went a little bit longer than anticipated, and I apologize. I try to keep it short and concise, but this is the kickoff of 2021, and I do hope each and every one of you have a fantastic 2021 year. Start it off. Keep it going all the way throughout the year, no matter what comes up. Keep that energy, positive energy going, so we can truly do a deeper dive, and I do mean deeper dive in many of these race and ethnic relations issues that will come up in 2021. With that said, that's show number 45. What will happen to race and ethnic relations in 2021? I am Dr. B. I want to thank you for your time. Please email me. Please subscribe to your platform, the podcast platform, to Podbean. Please subscribe to Podbean. Please subscribe to iTunes, Google Play, Listen FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Prime, and also, a little plug on If you're interested in some of my previous books, please, go to ABC Clio and check out my previous published academic books, because that gives you an indication of, my particular perspective on these issues. And so, again, thank you for your time. Have a great day. Have a great year, and talk to you again soon. This is Dr. B.